Hello ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Croatia, in which we have expanded very slowly, well not the Croatian map, uh, borders I should say, other than that we integrated Albania and gave some more core provinces to return to my vassal Bulgaria from the Ottomans. But right now Croatia is at war again, but we're not quite intervening because this is the Commonwealth's issue. You're bigger and better than this. We're just conserving our manpower, waiting for something to happen. I mean, certainly not them, but over Albania, yeah. In fact, since we're drilling here, we might as well move it over here, be stationed to there, and then we'll drill from there. And if Burgundy comes to our borders, we'll probably deal with them, but based on the close proximity of the Commonwealth's armies, I think they'll take care of that for us. No need to rush here. Oh, meanwhile, the Ottomans, I fear that, you know, even though we sent a bit of money to them, well, in actuality, we're just delaying. And I've come to the realization that once we're out of this war, when Burgundy is dealt with, we could try to get one more province out of the Ottomans and into the Bulgarian vassal of ours. Then this could be the last time, because I've read that you can only return core provinces if the opinion towards you has to be 50 or above. And knowing if we get one more, that increases to once subjects provinces negative opinion modifier go up a bit. Any improved relation will be nothing, so I think this is going to be the last time that we'll interact with the Ottomans. So after over 100 years of an alliance, it's going to come to an end soon. Which also means we will be turning to our new friends, potentially the Mamluks, as they do not like the Ottomans, nor the French, nor the Spanish. We were once friends with France, and we don't think too much about Spain, since they're kind of far away from here. And I would say that should the Mamluks, you know, get themselves together, we can try. As we did improve relations with them greatly. But at least the Spanish and the French are too far away from the Mamlukian borders. Tunis, however, that's going to be a bit of a problem, because of the proximity with the Ottomans, should we ever fight them in the future. And if we ever fight the Ottomans in the future, you'd not only be dealing with Tunis, but also another sizable country like Akkonulu. But I'm going to predict that their alliance with Akkonulu would end as well, because knowing they want Karaman, one of those Turkic beyliks, which they're willing to ally with us, interestingly, as they're also allied with Akkonulu and the Mamluks. Why would you ally with us? Oh, you're kind-hearted. Really? Young man, you are kind-hearted. Be more likely to join an alliance. There's definitely going to be some room for an alliance. So I might consider it, because should you get involved in the War of the Ottomans, we'll come save you. And just try to make a mess out of it. But I think it would be better if I were to start a war against the Ottomans. And of course, when you end an alliance, that means you're going to sign a truce that'll last about 5-10 years. Tend to forget. But I would rather help out be allied with the Mamluks, because them and the Commonwealth are the only other countries that can stand up against the Ottomans. And with a combination of a tiny bit of Bulgaria for support, and our military, if we're savvy enough to fight in defensive battles, then we should be in a good position to have multiple fronts to be fighting that I can see. Even though our enemies is the Papal States, two Sicilies, and Austria. But I think fighting the Ottomans, that would probably change our enemy rival to them. But anyways, that's in the long term. On the short term here, now we'll be dealing with that potential Albanian revolt here, as we lower the autonomy to get more income from this land. This fleet of ours, naval force limit is only about 2 more can fit. And since we got all this money and very good income, be stationed at Split. I'm gonna give you a reason why. I didn't know there's a few Burgundian ships there, but we're not sending them out there. Plus, that's all they have. And what do they have exactly? 1 heavy ship, 1 light ship. Soon they'll have nowhere to go. You know what? Head to there. Originally they were going to be stationed for Split, because it's one of the few areas that we have a shipyard to. And local shipbuilding time is reduced here. And then I just thought of something. Since we've had such good experience with the Navy, no need for an admiral yet, that why don't we just build a flagship? I mean, they have a heavy ship, so why not us too? So we can have our own. Which again, the flagship is the pride of the Navy. A flagship should be designed with the foremost needs of the nation in mind, whether they be protecting our maritime trade, dominating the seas and naval battles, or orchestrating invasions between land masses. So, here it is. You can pick to be either a galley, or a light ship, or a heavy ship, but I would go with a heavy ship because it has the most cannons, and it has the not great speed, but it'll do. And the hull size, which is just to have extra protection. And you can give it more upgrades to it, so as we look up here, I don't know why I like to say look up here, but and you can only pick 3 out of these with this slot. And since our naval doctrine is practically defend our coast and suppress the other fleets and blockade. Basically naval superiority. As we never use transport ships because we're not the kind of country that likes to, you know, go to overseas interventions. No, we stick with defending our homeland. And plus our main front line is going to be shifted to the Balkans soon. So, mass load cannons. However, many cannons the enemy believes we have, we must have twice as many. No ship has ever sunk from having too many cannons. So, it says 50, but now we just double it. I'm not saying it has 50 cannons to be exact, but I'm sure we'll look at the amount. And since our fleet is mainly light ships and galleys, we should have a command aftercastle, which increases fleet morale. Outfitting the ship with an aftercastle will provide better accommodations for our captain and the valued members of our crew. Even though its ship is going to be a carrack, as it says down here, at this current age we're on. But since this is a heavy ship, and knowing that should our flagship sink, then the morale would be devastated. That's what the aftercastle's for, but it should also have a hull sheathing. Even the greatest ship is eventually done in not only by war, but by the ocean itself. A metal sheath will ensure our flagship lasts, just to add more durability. Basically, it's the one with the big guns. even though it's a carrack, and if you were to look at illustrations or photos of carracks or carracks, how you say that name, the class ship, the how it looks like back in those days, well, try to picture with more guns, more hull sheathing, and an aft castle. Yes, you can randomize the names too, but I believe all the ships' names are taken of what we have, including these captured ships from other countries. So, and then I don't know, just give me a thought, think. Just trying to think. Think of something that would be of a Croatian origin. I'm not thinking of, although most flagship names are named after a famous city, a famous province, or a national hero. So, if I'm thinking national heroes, like that would be modern Croatia. But think of it of the Kingdom of Croatia's past. As in, who was the most famous Croat of the Kingdom of Croatia? I mean, if you're thinking of one of its peaks, that would be Krešimir the Great. Of course, you know, that's a long name. Or what about the man who founded the Croatian kingdom? Tomislav, yeah. Tomislav of Croatia is who you're thinking. I mean, we're the ones that fought for independence and whatnot. As much as we don't have a habit of making names of ships out of personal people, so Tomislav. There you go. That's gonna be the name of his flagship. Tomislav, named after the founder of the Kingdom of Croatia. So that's gonna be the total maintenance, which is gonna hurt the income quite a bit. But of course we'll get better income by other means. So just the trade and whatnot. Speaking of that, so it'll be built here in Split. It'll be finished in June 11th, 1555. So it'll be a bit more of a year. But since we decided to build it here in the shipyard, that'll reduce the time a bit. Only Rijeka and could have sworn I thought I had another shipyard. Ah, here it is. Istria. So thought about let's just build one more. Even though since it's gonna be a heavy ship plus with upgrades. Where is the part? Oh yeah, there it is. 6.5 per month is per base. And plus with upgrades, thinking about should bring one more along. I mean, yes, this is gonna, you know, hurt it a bit, but it's in consideration. And this one will take less days, but of course it costs a bit much, and so it's like 2 a month. Actually, we'll manage. It's just we won't make much of income. Build it here. Give me another one of these. So yeah, now it's at the max. Even though you can go over the limit, but I just like to conserve. Now the merchant. Since we collect a lot of trade here in Ragusa, and knowing our trade power is practically good enough, so I thought about moving the merchant somewhere else. Because look, you don't need to have it here, so go somewhere like Venice. So we can collect a bit of trade from there, since we have some degree of trade power, and knowing that constant conflicts with Venice, and one day we would like to expand over there, maybe we can get it out of it. So we'll be there in 3 days. There we are. Again, no admiral. But we're gonna go get these 2 ships. Either capture or sink. Do whatever. We sunk them both. Had we captured a heavy ship, then I would just refund it. Alright, back to your post. At the split. And we collect this amount of trade. Okay, look again. We get the money just fine from Ragusa. You don't need to have a merchant here in a Ragusa trade, because that's where you live. You have personal control of the trade node itself, so you can send a merchant into some other area. Even though we will remain to have that merchant in Constantinople to transfer that trade power to there, because that's where it goes. And also we may consider, you know, building 2 marketplaces. One in Draj, because that's a natural harbor here. And in Istra, one as well. Might as well. Hang on. Tell your position. And also we kind of want to expand the cavalry, so. Because it's infantry only, so it needs cavalry. It's a Croatian specialty, you know. So 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. You got it right. I think. Again, I'm no good at math, but it needs cavalry. So yes, we increased a bit of trade since we sent it over to Venice. And until our... See? They are going that way. No need to send our troops over there. Franjo Horvat no longer serves us. Died from an illness contracted in the field. His time to all saved many a battle. But as you know, I'm getting a bit old as well. And as much as we'd like to get this next one, but guess we'll have to go get a general sooner or later. Well, actually soon, because there's going to be an Albanian revolt soon. Okay, I skipped a bit of time because, of course, you know, when recruiting a general, and I would take the time to find a name that is easy to pronounce, or something that's a bit more interesting. So here we found a man. That's Alexander Payachevich. No. Alexander Payachevich. General Payachevich. Get used to that name. Right, now that you are present, even though that army is nearly fully drilled, but there are some regiments that aren't as drilled as some of the others, but keep at it. And you too. By you too, I mean myself. Even though I only have a limited time on the serve because I'm getting old here. And it's kind of wonder how did our Navy fought so effectively, because Navigator increases ship durability. And once I get this tech, which will be in 2 years' time, and then I will switch the national focus more towards diplomatic power. Not saying I'm trying to get this. That would be for the Ottoman conflicts to come. For province war score costs where we can get more land off of them. But instead, save it up for this. All I have to do is get the cavalry in and wait for those new ships to be built to be integrated to our fleet. Salt crisis. Rumors are sweeping the country that there's been a shortage of salt production. Though we try to quash these rumors, people assume that there is a salt crisis. And there goes that production efficiency, so that hurts our income. Here comes the cavalry. 15,000 strong. Now you're gonna start drilling more of these newly recruited regiments to be up on that level. Burgundy will soon be taken care of, and once that war ends, then negotiate with the Ottomans to give away one more province back to Bulgaria. And then that'll be the end of this alliance, because there's no way we can get any more out of it, no matter how good relations may be. Of course, once our alliance ends, I'll do anything to get the Mamluks to our side. I mean, yeah, they may be Muslims, but they're against the Ottomans. We're only up against big and strong countries. That would be a great threat to Croatian interests and the Balkans. Oh boy, once these ships are on, once they're set sailing, that's really gonna hurt the income, but to be fair, there's that ongoing salt crisis. And that flagship cost too. But that's just to construct the said thing. Not much of them now. Oh, it's over. Celestia will be pillaged by the Commonwealth. Opal will be forced to give the Commonwealth. You didn't take the land? Well, thanks for the favors. I guess you do have the money, but not now. Alright. Would rather have Turnovo, but not now. You can have either this, or this. That's the coastal part. But to me, Turnovo would be more important. Not because of development, it's... Or that, because defendable positions. Try to think. Development is all similar. One's got cloth, the other's grain. Oh. We'll get up to 27 soon. Okay, French are no longer the enemy of the Mamluks, but trust me when I could tell you this. When our alliance with the Ottomans ends, then we'll be friends. Best friends. In fact, I'll start viewing you as friendly to me. I think you already improved relationship, but I'm gonna send it over there simply for the sake of it. Even though we already got as much as out of them as we could, but may never know. Can't get Muscovy on our side because too long distance. And I mentioned about trade power, so why don't we have 2 marketplaces? See, there's room for Istra, which would definitely be a bit of a boost to what we're trying to collect here. And another in Drach just to help with the Ragusa income. So it should be good enough. Come on, get to 27. And don't do anything that I would regret. That was a cast spell that I heard. Because the old treaty expired. Okay, this is gonna be it. Because remember, if you take it off of them, it'll be below 50 and you cannot ask another core province ever again. But I'd rather have this because closer proximity towards more of that Bulgaria coast. Well, that one's going to be left out, but still. There's Chernobyl. You stay right there. And you come back. We're gonna give them no more favors. And in fact, you two, that we've done much you can. Everybody come back. Accept the fact that it's gonna happen, alright? See this? I told you. We want subjects province. We need at least 50 opinions, so we can't get any more land off of them, so they have outlived their usefulness to us. And it looks like this will be a good time to have relations improve with the Mamluks, even though you can't have a marriage alliance with them. Marriage alliance. Royal marriage, you know what I mean. 1 sec. What did you do? Commonwealth conquest. Look at the war that you've started. Allied with Bohemia, that's the HRE Emperor. Munich and Bregenz. We're not far from Bregenz. You can go through Austria and take care of them. But there's this uprising, you know. That could still potentially happen. 1 moment. Here's a little more production efficiency, just to help with the income. Now, far away, later in this part of the century, we'll get a 4th idea group. Which originally I was thinking about quantity, but knowing that inflation is going to be a bit of a concern since we're the owners of a gold mine, I think economic would be better. Plus, national tax modifier up, which gives us this income while we maintain our military. Construction, inflation reduction, lowered interest rate, reduced autonomy change, which is always good, knowing that we would be going on the expansion soon. land maintenance modifier reduced, and then production efficiency, and once you finish economic, reduce development. You know, something that can help this country. On some of the Croatian provinces, Serbia, Albania, coming soon Bulgaria. Yeah, we can help develop all of this when you complete this. And when you complete economic ideas, you can enact decisions such as public welfare or dissolution act. Yeah, that'll do. And with that, switch to that now. We will be getting less administrative power. Since we're going to be so far away till we get the next one. Unless we change or get an advisor to compensate. Because we are behind the diplomatic tech, and if we want to get up to, say, those levels, which new ship types won't come until later. This will get in a few years. So we will dissolve the alliance. So, thank you for serving us well. After, how long was this? So, Independence War started in 1449. So, yeah, over 100 years of Ottoman alliance. We had our, you know, moments of tension where you thought you were going to end our alliance, but no. We did so well together, so we thank you for your cooperation. And one day we will attack them when the time is right. Made it official. You didn't break the alliance with us. I broke up with you. So, yeah. They'll never get over that. That yearly change opinion is definitely going to change. If we're changing our rivalry with the Ottomans, they're going to be a new enemy. Even though two Sicily's an enemy, but to me they're more of a nuisance to me. And as much as I like to kick the ass of the Papal States, but I think we found a new target, but here's the problem with two Sicilies. Allied with France. That's the last thing I would ever want. But keep in mind, they are stronger than ours, and so is the Navy. And finally, let's make this official since we broke up the alliance. We will be the Balkan Liberators. So that reduces years of separatism and gain a permanent claim of the entire Balkans. Now to withstand the Turks, we need to own one more province. And you'll get some free military power. The Ottoman Turks pose the greatest threat to our independence. We must build an army to withstand them and rule the powerful realm that will stand as a bulwark against the Turkish threat. Even though we already are. Still. And also, yes, I'll be there. Who are you up against exactly? Huh! You can deal with them yourself. By the way, how long does that truce last with the Ottomans? Since we broke up with them? 5 years. 5 years. Hey, Mamluk. Yes, we have common rivals now, so that improves it a bit. We are threatened by the Ottomans, and so are you to the degree. And we are the only one that can stand up against them. I don't know if that's going to work to try to accumulate. Yeah, it's very little, but you need an alliance with them to get a little more of it. But this is just for starters. Alliance with the Mamluks would be the best thing. And you're also allied with the Karaman. Which I could ally with you should the Turks attack you, then we can join in and deal with them, but I'd rather bring the Commonwealth along. So, in a hypothetical scenario, yes, a distant war and all that. But that'd be breaking a truce, keep that in mind. So I need their confidence. Bringing Genoa and Tuscany in would just be of interest. And Muscovy, that's a bit far off, but they don't like us having allied with the Commonwealth. There's another way to improve relations with the Ottomans even further. Scornfully insult. That'll improve relations with those who are enemies of the Ottomans, which now they view us as an enemy. So be it. And we'll have religious wars. War score costs versus other religions like Sunni. And we're going for that ultimate goal. Need to own all South Slavic provinces. Talking about Bulgaria. Our manpower's near full, so you're only facing 90,000 of them. In general, you're going into action. Deal with against. You stay there. I will stay there, I should say, and deal with the Albanian situation. And we'll support you sooner or later. And meanwhile, our flagship and the other heavy ship will be finished. We cannot defeat the Ottoman fleet head on, but we'll do what we can. Mantua. Stay there. Wait for the morale to go up. 3 leagues. Wait. Oh, you're fighting 2 wars. $91. I'm still waiting. I'm looking at spy now, but what can I do these days besides justify? Well, since you're rivals of them now, might as well build a spy network. Yeah, there's an awful lot of them. They can occupy a few territories, but we'll get them. Oh, big discovery spread. Yeah, it's due to cities looted. It's part of that, but the ships have been finished. Oh. We'll begin our march next month to deal with the enemy. And when it's wartime, go get an admiral. Not this particular war, but in future. We have to unoccupy it, so it'll be good. I can go deal with them. They already got the main objective, but soon they'll probably take more. Also, what is this discovery spread? Siberian areas. Down there as well. Even there. Yeah, no longer allied with us. But enemy of enemy. So I guess this is how we're going to improve relations then. That's why I decided to remain there. The kingdom and free trade. With a cry like Krishmir V, most nobles agree that there is no need for elections, which would only destabilize and weaken the Croatian nation. Many traders disagree. They find institutions of the Republic, including free elections, to be crucial in ensuring Croatia's continued economic priorities. Under an autocratic cry with expansionistic, that's a new word, ambitions, the free trade and liberty they enjoyed in the past may be threatened. If the current cry is to rule for life, they demand that he shows dedication to these ideals. Yeah. 33 right now. But status and power we should go that way because diplomatic reputation as we're trying to make new friends since we broke up with the Ottomans. Anybody that could stand up against them, so we must concede some of their points and reform it accordingly. Strengthen the status, like 25%. It's not much because it's still in power. Because I cry, keep in mind, he rules for life when a monarch is found. If there's a statist in power, then that means they'll serve a 4-year term, as it says here. You can hold no more one term because it's not a true republic in a sense. Let's go get him. A little more will help. Let's avoid doing. Attacking Switzerland. Well, we got it all taken care of. That papal influence, I remembered something that should be of some use to us. Diplomatic reputation is one thing, but I think it'll go up naturally. We'll be allies with the Mamluks soon. Not concerned about stability, but what we should have is these two. Because one, national tax modifier would be grand, but I think yearly inflation reduction will help a lot. Because it's going to increase bit by bit. I know it's not much, but to me I find it a little much. Any inflation is too much inflation in my opinion. Especially that fort maintenance. I know we don't have that many forts, but it's better to keep it at a minimum. Until we get the economic ideas far in the future. That's why I decided I'll go for economic. And I can predict after economic, this one's going to be for quantity. That one will be quality, maybe. And these two is just anyone's guess. Far in the future. I just mapped out the future for the Croatian series for you. keep in mind, you're spending 45s. And this is for 20 years. Which would no doubt get rid of all the inflation altogether. Where is it? It should turn friendly soon. And once they're friendly, then they're more likely to accept an alliance. We're getting there. It would be nice, but just to have another front, but Akkonulu will be watching. And they don't like us. Allied to Croatian rival Ottomans. That reminds me, regarding covert actions. If I had a lot of it, I would support the rebels, like try to this or this when the war's ongoing. Or just before it. I could see that happening. That's only if you have a lot of money. Again, we don't do separate peace. This is the Commonwealth's war. Who else is involved? Mantua. Oh yeah, these guys. There you go. We get one ducat out of it. Praha's fallen, so they shouldn't last too long. $1560. Remember the year. Get in now. Here we go. Yes, sir. Friendly attitude towards Croatia. It's official then. Now we can get more favors out of you. Once it's 10, then we're allowed to allow you to join our wars. Especially them. They may be a large, formidable enemy, but we need the Commonwealth, the Mamluks on our side, which of course it's going to take a couple of years to get all that manpower up. And Spanish Crusade against Tunis, and you didn't join, so that's why you broke up the alliance with Tunis. Strange, that I may add. And Bohemia's too busy with the war against Savoy, which I thought about having an alliance with them as well. Salt crisis is over. And you know, since our enemy does not have any ships, I got something for you. Since we broke up the alliance with the Ottomans. Have fun privateering Constantinople. A trade note, that is. Another source of income. Spoils of war. They declared war against Karaman. Wait a minute. That means you've ended your alliance with Akkonulu. Akunilu was one of the main loyal supporters of the Ottomans. I could help you out, but of course, if we enter that war, we would be destabilizing the country for breaking the truce, because see what it'll do? And it would probably get us a lot more trouble than it needs to be, honestly, if we ever get involved in that sort of thing. You're a backstabber, you know that. You threw Tunis out of this, and they're getting a bit crusade. And you attacked Karaman, which is a friend of Akunilu, and a friend of the Mamluks. Oh dear. Have I was not bound by that truce, then maybe it's our chance to bring it out, even though we'd be facing mass number. They'll be fighting in multiple fronts. But they have what it takes. So you better finish that war. Generals have discussed the impact of some new weapons a local gunsmith's been making. They believe they could be used effectively in armies if we get a few more people to work on it. Where are we? Spare no expenses. Yes, that means increased inflation. We'll deal with the inflation later. Guess we'll have to use that from the papal influence, even though they don't like us one bit. Got it all occupied, so hopefully it should be over soon, but we have to knock out one of their allies. Also, that's good enough. Come on. The lack of good maps or tools to create accurate maps helped their cause in the border region of Trans-Danubia. Our local authorities have been able to make use of certain ambiguities, which make a convincing case that bunch should in fact belong to Croatia, rather than to Austria. Should we press these claims, it would be better to let them slide. They're in the middle of war. Just press the issue, but that's just... We have a claim, but it's temporary, which I don't want to press that. Not interested in that. We made our case known that we have permanent claims throughout the Balkans, which keep in mind. That's for the entirety of this, including Constantinia, also known as Constantinople, or known in the South Slavic languages as Zarigrad, the city of emperors. I don't know how long you'll be around, but as much as I just want to get out of the Ottomans just for a bit. But that'll probably, as I said, it'll probably get us more into trouble than it needs to be. Because once you come into it, I don't know that. I mean, I don't think we would enter it anyhow, because we have a truce, and it would destabilize if we try to enter it. And looks like Akunilu is going to need some new friends. And I know we're not in the same religious group, but you were a big helper to them. But we could see you fighting in another front. Stupid idea. Wait for the siege to finish, also ignore that call. Our ruler passed away, So now we hold a premature election. Both the status and monarchists before new candidate. By the way, each time when our ruler died, it would have a stability drop. This did not occur since this is an elected monarchy. So, let's see who's the candidate that's suited for this. 033 eek. Or 23. Well, monarchists will remain in power. So it's 233. So I guess I have to go for that. Or just, you know, bite it. I mean, bearing in mind, this one was one. I mean, he's not dead yet, but it says otherwise. What? We're just having a premature election right now. So it's 1. And if you pick the status candidate and have a term for 4 years, I mean, maybe there'll be a better one rather than just deal with it. I mean, I'm sure there'll be someone better down the line. So go for the status candidate. So 4-year term. Slavic Seked Zubic. Slavic Zubic is his name. He'll just be serving a term for 4 years. And of course that term expires right, during the first years of the potential Ottoman War for Bulgaria. And yes, it'll be slow to gain administrative power, but hopefully somebody will be better down the line. This will reduce national unrest, so that'll slow down the Albanian separatist ordeal. Yearly legitimacy won't go down because of the royal marriages we have and whatnot. Do we? Yeah, we do with one, but Commonwealth got to get back together with them. More importantly, diplomatic reputation up. Okay. Don't spend it. Save it for this, and we're about to get this soon. We'll get new cannons. What's the military low? 12. About to be 13. So they'll be slightly outclassed in a hypothetical conflict. Even though we don't have very much cannons. As much as we're an infantry, cavalry-oriented military. Ah, almost caught a mosquito. Saw flying around. Anyways. Well advised, so more advisors if you need one. Even though we don't have that kind of money for that. But we'll be getting exposed of war. Since they hate our guts now. Goslar is out. We get 8 ducats. Now we're about to get these guys out of the war as well. Till the Commonwealth get a favorable peace deal, so I could get out of this war early. Iron cannons. Cast iron cannons, but don't upgrade them now because there's a war going on. Withdrawal. Head back to there. 91% war score. Should be over soon. And since we just spent big time, 13 years ahead of time, we won't get the next one anytime soon. Let's get a new general. Since I'm only serving a term for 4 years, no reason for me to command an army. Dragutin Draskovic. You got two 2-star generals now. They're out, and we get 18. Makes me want to crush them now. Just provoke them. But we have to be at peace first. Very little income. Everlasting victory. The HRE is out. We get 13. 100%. So, yeah, it's pretty much over at this point. Also, I failed to realize that agent's just been discovered. Oh yeah? We'll counter-espionage you just to make sure you don't do anything to us. I never do counter-espionage, but knowing how big they are at this point. Let's see. Yeah, can't do anything to them. So, come on back. I was hoping to get up to 60 so we could support rebels. You know, cause a separatist rebellion. A big one at that. 3-star general for the Mamluks. 6 shock. I'm glad I'm friends with you. And allying with them would only be... Again, we have our diplomatic reputation now. In fact, switch. Since I care more about morale to last long in a fight, to go for small cast iron cannons. An early form of Imperial artillery was used for both sieges and defense. The bombard was a simple cannon able to hurl projectiles at enemy defenses. The missile of choice was often a metal ball or large stone, intended to cause damage to fortifications rather than enemy personnel. Even the smaller bombards were heavy and difficult to move quickly during battle, limiting their use against infantry and cavalry formations. So, either that or... since we have a lot of cavalry. In our generals, I mean, it's 4, 3, 4, 4, 2, 2, and 1 siege. These are good generals that we have now, but go for this. Nuremberg's out. Get a few more ducats. Now they're gonna finish off what's left of Mantua. We get 10. And you did not take that territory. But instead, you've taken most of Bohemia. But you did not take Praha, you just stopped short of it. I lost 21. How many favors? 100, okay, time to start using that. You don't have the money, nor the soldiers. Maybe a little more trust out of you is always good. Yeah, might as well. I just want you to be so well trusted because you are our biggest ally now. And I need that trust. Also, regarding that Albanian, provoke a revolt, which should give him 13 regiments. Well, come on, get in here. They could be stationed either there or there. Just wanted to get it over with. Take what little casualties there are. That's up here. Replaceable losses. Be stationed over there and start drilling, knowing that one day we will be at war with them. Just spin it down all the way to 50. You are our new most trusted ally. Thinking down the line. That's 45. And we are at peace with them. And I'm sure we'll get more money through other means. Be it trade or privateering. Let's go for this. And if you need more, you can always convert if you need more people influence. Which isn't going to provide much. Just want to see it reduced. Oh, it's about time. Governing capacity, minimum autonomy territories, so regional representation it is. So, the legislative assemblies of this land are an imperative part of our state, and by statute their role must ensure efficiency as well as legitimacy to our kingdom. So far into the future, as I did some thinking, I'm probably going to become a republic rather than a kingdom. Since we're doing a 4-year term thing here. It's almost like a practice run of, do you want to be a republic or will you remain a monarchy? But of course, the republic has its flaws in terms of monarch power where you won't get as much. But if you keep re-electing, if you got a good, strong republican tradition, well, keep re-electing. It'll increase the monarch's power. By monarch power, we're talking about these. In case you didn't know. They've not taken their relevant objective. But they've won a few battles here and there. But they are many. And if you were to start a war with them now... Oh, you are fighting another war. Distant war is another reason. Mamluk's already at war, obviously. Yeah, that ain't convincing. But reconquest is more amenable to conquest itself because less aggressive expansion and less cause for core return. So all I need is your trust from all of you. That's all I ask from you. Need your trust. And then subsequently tell you to prepare for war. I know it's a bit long distance for you to come over here and walk overland. And you're going to be our most trusted ally no matter what. Just trying to make sure of it. And we want the Mamluks to join, as long as you get up to favors of 10. 10 or more. Okay, that's it. They trust you well enough, highly trustworthy. The local nobility in Krajinska are not satisfied with their granted privileges. They demand more rights and are willing to back this up with a rebellion against the Kraj. Eek. Last thing I want to see is more autonomy. That's only in Krajinska. Move up. Likely going to crush him. 17 noble regiments. That's going to be a lot of killing. Burgundy. You are a weakened state. Not enough to make an alliance out of them. Unless they become real friendly and consider the Ottomans as an enemy. So, bring them back. Long distance, too. One more trust from Genoa and Tuscany, the only Italian states that I like. Saving the rest of these favors for prepare for war. So they'll be more than likely to join if not. Just wait for morale to go up. For a month. Then morale will be full, then we'll crush them. The nobility will not like that, but I don't care. Took a bit more. So, Alexander Petrovich has got a glory seeker, so prestige from land battles gained as well as army traditional battles. Now that's a man the country needs for the upcoming war against the Ottomans. Whether or not that I made a right decision. Over here. Split up. Ready? Thought about developing Serbia, but I think we may have to get that off because you know, need a little more of that state income. Except for this one with the, because of the trade node here that's located. So no edicts in any part. Because we need that income. Well, right now we're using the income just to reinforce our armies. Great, more peasant revolts. Turn around. Head to Bielovar. Our increasing focus on defense and clearing land around our fortifications to dig moats and create clear fields of fire. People occupy some of that and react in the most disloyal manner. Well, the fort should hold out until relief arrives, which they have arrived just now. And on this same day, the status of the burghers does not rest on the same old traditions as the nobility or the clergy. Instead, they have to make their own fortunes by working diligently rather and then risking the profit to again expand their businesses. As a rule, however, this has gone very well for them lately. While not as prestigious business as in many ways the backbone of our economy, though their control of their coins, the burghers have managed to increase their power over our country. Good influence. Very high influence, in fact. Put him down. Manpower should recover in 2 years' time. Now, is there anyone else that want to stand up against team positions here? In Spain, they tell us of the triangle trade. When European nations started to colonize North and South America, they created large plantations for the production of cotton, tobacco, and sugar. They first tried to use the local population as slaves, but they quickly died out where that was tried. Slaves were then imported from Africa, which created a triangular trade system. Europe sold textiles, rum, and manufactured goods to Africa. Africa sold slaves to America, and America sold cotton, sugar, and tobacco to Europe. The price of slaves have gone way up, and Spain gets a bit of ducats and prestige for this. I would consider bit because it's a big nation compared to ours. By those standards. Why does this place not have a marketplace? Don't you know that there's inland center trade here? Because we know Zagreb's got a marketplace. Why not Belgrade? We did one for Dubrovnik. Built one in here. And there as well. We built one there. Do the Ottomans have a marketplace there? Yes. Athena? Athens? None. Okay. That's all I wanted to know, so we can have the strongest trade power in Ragusa, which we still do to a degree, but the Ottomans are just only playing catch-up. So is Venice. Would like to see that increased, but I'm sure we'll do that in the wars against the Ottomans. Now you can have naval equipment manufacturing. And as we're still far behind on diplomatic technology, so you need this much power, which we'll get that in a couple of years. Of course, we're going to need an admiral for the fleet in future. And as well as this, when we fight, you know, numerous wars against them, so province war score costs when we take more and more land, especially combined with this with the aggressive expansion impact. And plus you need a reduced province war score if you're going to be taking the most developed land here. Alright, we got 10 favors, so the Mamluks can join our wars. But we got a year. Should be drilling. Now that the peasants, nobles have been all dealt with. Trying to do some thinking in the head as time ticks along. Spain tells us of the golden age of piracy. Wars between colonial powers are bloody affairs that leave a legacy of devastation and villainy in its wake. Piracy has become rampant in the Caribbean. Former privateers have raised the black flag and they discovered that peacetime is bad for profits, while naval captains disenfranchised by the outcome of the wars disavowed their former sovereigns. The conflict between great powers thus inadvertently ushered in the golden age of piracy. We triggered available for the next 50 years. Even though we're doing a bit of privateering of our own against our former ally. That ain't much. I got 1 year. It would be best to declare war against them as soon as the truce expires, because the Mamluks would still be at war with them if Karaman continues to exist. We'll have full manpower by then, while we will drill armies as much as we can, knowing that I assume the Ottomans, since they fought more wars than we do, they have a much higher army professionalism than we do. But we got good generals. And so do they. Genoa's at peace, with some manpower left. Good. Good to know. And you got 1 year. About dang time. Very high trade efficiency and manpower recovery speed and all that. Clergy sees stability Croatia is paramount. Insist that we must prove the nation's government so our nation may be free from instability. So get it up by 3. I don't have that kind. No. Nobility requests prosperity in Zadar. Expansion of Valor's port facilities. So have a shipyard, or develop to get more manpower, which we do have the military power to make that happen. Since we're 11 years ahead of time. So we'll go for that. You know, none of that manpower is being utilized here, but I guess it'll do. 1 sec. Just to reduce the cost of development a bit. There you go. And you got some free manpower. There, now we're ready for war. Now you're gonna have to wait till we switch it back to increase local trade power to get that income back up. Simply for the sake of it, for you two friends. But also, we'll leave that 1 diplomat for free. Helped to eventually negotiate with the Ottomans. Mamlukian fleet out there. Suppose the war keep coming in from Yemen. Rather concerning to me. Just only improving relations to these two Italian states, which is just to keep the alliance alive. Venice is at it again. You, a coalition against Savoy. French conquest of Bordeaux. Allied France. Savoy. Friendly to us. Of course. Of who they're allied with and whatnot. No, they'll join if we try to do anything stupid, even though we no longer view two Sicilies as a rival. We're starting to look at it with the Ottomans, but that could change after when we start that war against them. And I would love to give them a privilege such as, let's see, command of the military, even though the leader cost would increase with the yearly army tradition. But that'll cost you some crownland, which I cannot afford to lose. But would love to have another ally somewhere. But you damn near alienated everybody. No, friends with them. So I guess you may consider Savoy, knowing there's a coalition against you that you've been expanding as of late. But if you can get your manpower up, good. Even though you're currently at war with England, and I want nothing to do with it. Spain doesn't like us because Mamluks and Commonwealth. Bologna. I like the two Sicilies. Yeah, we beat you up a bit, but I don't know how you're so resistant and all that. Tunis was at war, but they were allied to the Ottomans, but they don't like the Papal States. Well, neither do we. And if we went to war, well then that'll be of difficulty. But we just don't have that because we still have a truce with them and whatnot. Oh, damn it. Where is it? $32. Having a personal union with Spain is a pipe dream. Burgundy, you're too far away from me due to the relevance of what we're about to get into. Of what could be Croatia's biggest test. And I have not received any news that the Ottomans have accepted a peace with Karaman. So that means war is still ongoing. So stop drilling in February. So morale will be up by April when truce expires. And we'll see how they feel. Do you know I was at war? No, they're not anymore. Okay. So stop drilling. Both of you. Even though some regiments aren't well drilled enough. So we did what we could with this armed professionalism that we can get out of this. Well, we got 2 good generals. No monarch in charge this time to lead an army. Because he's only going to be around for another couple of months before we will hold another election. And hopefully someone better than this one that we have now. And the war goes long if we have a big momentum, since we have no aggressive expansion. Might get this idea. And then just go get one, and then you finish that set of idea, then you get all this great fancy stuff for policies and whatnot. So that's why I have this free. So you've got 2 months, and after those 2 months, well, we're in for a world of hurt here. Who's that? Again, no. But even before the war starts, I may even bring Caramans as an ally. In fact, I might just do that before the truce expires. And also with the drill and finish, I noticed that if we want to capture certain areas, like there, in Corfu, which again, all the Balkans we have claims to, but reconquest will be the foremost priority to get all the Bulgarian lands back to Bulgaria, and then would probably include the rest of Macedonia. I will have to, include all of that. And then the next war, we'll go for Thrace, especially Constantinia. That'll be for the second conflict. First conflict should be, we'll just try to get as much land as possible, knowing that aggressive expansion is lowered since it's a reconquest. But there's this fort there, and there's another one here and there, and there's a fort there too. But we'll think about potential areas to take. So we should begin to station ourselves somewhere. Wait with the second army here. Yeah, it should be good to be stationed in Skopje. And another over here. And we'll work our way over there soon. Unless, I think we should be stationed over here. He'll be right behind us. We're just looking for starting positions. Stop. Ally with Karaman. It seems they are winning. I guess the Mamluks are doing their job. Oh, very much. You are winning. Alright, we're allies now. Just for protection rather than anything else. But I'd rather be the one who starts that war. In fact, they're in retreat. Oh. Guess they are holding off on their own for now. But I'll be back in 15 days. Okay. It's a defensive war. it would be premature to end it now, but I'd rather be the one that starts the war. But then again, they are winning. So. But we would be having a truce with them, and could be anything. Though it was rather premature of us. But just wait for my answer. I'd rather be the one who starts the reconquest, just to keep the pressure. Wait. Wait. Okay. So they went that way. So that's just only one army. I don't know where the others are. Probably on the other side of Anatolia. So that's a good sign. There's only one army there. And if we have to go on the defensive, we have the Highlands. And should those defenses fall, then we'll fall back into Bosnia and Herzegovina. So yeah, you know your defense as well. And your ships, let's get the heck out of there. In fact, not good at all. Perhaps we should just wait, knowing that this is going to destroy our fleet for this. Our base station in Drat. You'll get our answer in a moment. Hang on. All our war nations can move troops in, and if we decline, we lose that stage. But we kind of need that. But don't worry, the Mamluks are the only other nation that they can stand up against them. And maybe we can give the Karamans some gains. And don't worry about the other two. Just worry about this army. But I guess we have no choice, since there's a momentum for them winning. And the Mamluks working together with us. We'll consider this our first foray into this conflict. We probably won't make any gains, but we'll try to cause damage to them. Knowing they're up there. So we will accept it. A first contact, even though the more enthusiasm for them is rather low, as they have not taken hold of their relevant objective. And go get an admiral, which we will go get it in the next episode. We'll leave you on a cliffhanger. You'll get the next episode immediately after. But until then, so long for now.